Hi everyone, it's another edition of Poupée Theater, where the puppets, or poupée in the French pronunciation, help us learn more about Abraham-Hicks and law of attraction. Now, Allie is here for another session of learning a Abraham-Hicks special term, and Allie is very joyful today. Could anybody guess why Allie is joyful?
I'll tell you, I caught a fish.
I see. Oh, here it is. You caught a fish out in the retention pond. Now, you know that maybe it's better not to eat those because there might be some issues with pollution out there. I'm just saying. I mean, I wouldn't eat it, but I mean, if you see fit, I suppose if your immune system is high, which I assume it might be. Knowing you, you look hale and hearty and very, very green. Anyway, moving right along, Allie, today we have another term that I'd like for you to help us to hold up, and this time, okay, just hold it straight. Okay, Allie, hold it. Just get a hold of it and hold it. Okay, not okay, like that. Okay, very good. Right there, right there, right there. Okay, it's joy. J-O-Y. Joy. Okay. Now, Allie's joyful today, right? Because you're very, very happy about catching that fish.
Well, I sure am happy about catching that fish because it's going to be supper for me, and it will soon be supper time. And I just can't wait to sink my big dentures into this thing.
Well, I don't know if those are dentures, but whatever they are, I guess they're worthy of sinking into something. Okay, Allie, joy. You are feeling joyful because you've had a successful day there catching your prey. But, by the way, it's the cutest little fish. I don't know how you can eat stuff like that, but far be it from me to say. I guess a girl's got to keep her strength up. Allie, joy. Abraham says that is our goal. Our ultimate goal here in life is to feel joy. Now, we talked about emotions previously. Joy is at the very tippy top of the emotional ladder. If you want to feel really, really good, you'll probably end up there because that would be, or bliss, you could call it bliss, just, intense happiness. And when we feel that way, guess what? That inner being that we were talking about in another segment, that inner being who always feels that way and always sees life through our eyes and sees it in a total happy way, accepting and loving way, we are feeling the very same way as that inner being. And when we feel the same way as the inner being through our mental focus, then guess what? The inner being and we are lined up.
Well, I don't know exactly what that means.
Well, lined up, like, have you ever been out in the pond? I always try to draw it back to that because I know that's the context in which you live and move and have your being. Sometimes I have seen that you and your boyfriend will swim together. I can see that you're just below the surface of the water, but the two of you are just aligned and you're just going along almost like synchronized swimmers. And so in a way you could think of your inner being is like that. It's just lined right up with you when you are joyful because it's always joyful. And therefore the two of you are together. Now your inner being has some huge advantages because it's always joyful. It always has access to every good thing. Well-being is always flowing to you and your inner being, but your inner being is just always snagging it because your inner being is always feeling joyful, and that's what it takes to snag the well-being that's always coming to you. I hope this isn't sounding too circular, but at any rate, so when you line up with your inner being by feeling joyful, by thinking about stuff that makes you feel joyful, such as that sweet little fish, then you, my lass, are going to have a very, very good day, probably the next day, a good catch. And you're going to get along much better with that boyfriend of yours, I hope. I don't want to hear any more of that screaming and criticizing out there. And things are just going to go well for you. You're going to enjoy life more because you're lined up with your inner being and your desires are going to come your way as a result. So even more than, say, a kiss from your boyfriend, or deep, deep waters in the pond, or some innocent duck swimming your way, just go for the thought that brings you joy. And then, as a result of that, you will have very, very good experiences that will come to you very easily.
Well, I guess it sounds pretty good. I'll give it a whirl.
Okay, you do that, Missy, and come back next time. And I'm sorry about what the dentist said. I hope you didn't take offense by that. I mean, not everybody can be helped, and apparently you might just want to start a new trend of more natural. You know, I think we all need to be a little more natural and a little less contrived. And you know what? I think you can start a beauty trend. Lady Gaga will be all over it. Well, on that note, it's Allie and Karen, and for Poupée Theater, we are going to say au revoir, toodaloo.